there, Stampers. This is Sherry Roth. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Alberta, Canada. And in this video, I'm going to share 7 cards that are going to be created using half a package of the Mixed Media Florals Memories and More cards. So these are 3x4 and 4x6 cards that can be used for either card making or memory keeping. You get several double-sided 3x4 cards. You get some 4x6 double-sided cards, and then you get 2 sticker sheets. So we're going to use these to create some quick and easy cards. So to help with the quickness and the easiness of the cards, I'm going to throw in some assorted Memories and More cards and envelopes. So these cards and envelopes come pre-cut and scored. You get both the card bases and the envelopes in 2 different sizes. So one of them is 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. So you can see that you can fit these cards right on there to really make for quick and easy cards. And then you get some that are 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. So these ones can get added on here. But we're going to step up all of these cards. You can make them as quick and easy as just slapping these on and being done with it. But I'm going to show you some great ways to kind of step that up a little bit. All right. Okay, so I've pulled out, you'd actually get 2 of each of these cards. This is half a package, and this is half a package of the cards and envelopes as well. So you could make 2 of each of these cards. Okay, so for the first card, I'm gonna take out this 4x6 card, and we're gonna trim it down just a little bit. So I am going to trim it down so that it is 3 7/8 of an inch. So I'm just trimming 1/8 of an inch off. And then by 5 7/8. So 1/8 of an inch off of 2 sides. And then we can set this aside. I've got a black piece of cardstock that measures 4 by 6. And I'm just going to grab my adhesive. Add some adhesive to the back of this. Add this. Oh, and you know what? I forgot a step already. You know what we need to do is before we do this, we need to trim this out. So I wanted to show you how you can just do some really simple things to give a little bit of added dimension to these cards. So I'm just trimming right along this grateful flagged line. My scissors are probably going to be all sticky. Right along here and then up this line. You can use your paper trimmer as well, but I find this works just as well. Might take a little bit longer using your paper snips. Okay, so I'm just gonna remove that. Let's just add a little bit more glue. So this is just multi-purpose glue, and if it dries, then it's a temporary adhesive rather than a permanent adhesive. So, and I don't want a permanent adhesive, or a temporary adhesive, sorry. Okay. So we're going to add that on there so that we just have that smidge of black in behind. And then we're going to bring in a card base and our bone folder. So this is one of the larger card bases. And I'm going to line these up. Use my bone folder, make it nice and crisp. And then we can add some adhesive on the back of this. And position this in the center. So because this is such a dominantly white card, I really wanted that contrast. So that black really makes that white pop off of that white background. Okay, so now we're going to take this piece and we're actually going to add some dimensionals on here. So you can cut out different elements from these cards and pop them up. It's a great way to add a bit of dimension. So I'm just going to reposition this basically right back where it was. Just like that. And then I'm going to take some baker's twine and tie a bow. And I've got a little dot of glue there, probably from my fingers, so I'm just gonna add it right on there. Okay, and we can leave it at this, but I decided to add in some gems. So these are the adhesive backed dots for days. These are a product that are on the last chance list, or that is on the last chance list. So these are only available while supplies last, and that's the same with these mixed media florals, memories, and more cards and envelopes as well. They're only available while supplies last. Okay, and there we go. There is our first card. So quick and easy. And then, of course, we've got an envelope in that package. And there we go. Okay, moving on to card number 2. This time we're going to do one of the smaller cards. So I've got my card base. I'm going to use this adorable little card here. And then this time we're going to pull out some stickers to use. So I'm going to pull out those sticker sheets. So the first thing I'm going to do is fold my card base and adhere the 3x4 card to the card base. Okay, and now I'm going to take this You're Amazing. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to grab some twine, and I'm just going to add a little bit of twine in a figure 8. So this is a great way to add a little bit of texture. So behind these stickers, you can just add a little bit of twine. You can, whether you do it this way or tie a bow, doesn't really matter. Then we'll trim this. And then I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back of this. See if that fit in there. Yep. All right. And we'll take that and add that on here. Like that. And another quick and easy card. All right, next up, again, we're gonna go back to a 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 card base. Fold along that score line. Oh, fold along that score line. And this time I'm gonna bring in these 2 cards. And just to add a little bit of extra texture, I'm gonna take my paper snips and go around the edges. Just gives it a little bit more of a distressed look. I love the texture that it adds, and it's a simple way to add a little something to your card without needing any extra tools or supplies. So I've done both of those. Now we're going to adhere this card first. And we're going to go about 1/2 inch in from the left and about maybe 3/4 of an inch from the top. And then we'll add some adhesive to this one. It's actually nice that you get 2 of each card in a kit because I love this card. Some of them you just love both sides. So I'm not going to use this focal point. So I'm actually going to just cover it over. Move it down just a little bit. I'll just pop that on there. And then I've got another baker's twine bow. And I'm going to add that on here with just a dot of multi-purpose glue. Add that on there. And then we're going to use just a note to let you know I'm thinking of you. I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back. I'm just going to trim some of the edges here. Use these smaller pieces, one on either side. pop that on here like that and finish it off with some of these yellow dots. Just like that. And there is card number 3. Okay, moving on to another one. So another 4x6 card, or 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 card. And we're gonna repeat the process of using 2 of the 3x4 cards for this one. And we're gonna position them in a similar pattern. So we're going to use these 2. And those are going to go on like that. I am going to distress around the edges again. You can always skip this part. If you're truly looking for quick and easy, you could just slap these on there. All right, and then we're going to adhere them just like we did the last time. This on here like that. And then this one. All right, and then I've gone ahead and I die cut. This is a rectangle. You can see the beautiful detail around the edges. This is a die. It is called Textured Notes. It's the Textured Notes dies. So I cut that using those dies. I love that. Each one of the rectangles has like a different pattern on it, which is so pretty. We're just going to position this on here like this, and this is going to be a placeholder for our greeting. I've got some more twine here. I'm just going to tie another bow. And we'll trim this. We're going to add this on here. Just tweak this, make our loops kind of close in size. Okay, and then we're going to take this heartfelt thanks. And again, I'll take some of the edges, use a couple of those. Actually, let's add 3 of them to this one. So we'll do one here. One here, and we'll do one kind of in the middle. You can, if you're worried about these kind of sticking where you haven't added dimensionals, you can use your embossing buddy and take some of that stickiness off if you'd like before you add your dimensionals. Okay, and then we'll bring in some of these dots, and this time I'm going to use the green ones. These dots for daisies, these are a perfect match for this. Okay, we'll do 2 of them on this one. All right, and there we go. That is card number 4, and we'll grab an envelope for that. Okay, and then card number 5 again is going to be another 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 card. Fold this one. Okay, and this time we're going to use a 4x6 card and a 3x4 card. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring in one of our 3x4 card bases, and we're actually going to trim it. So 3x4 here in Canada, 3x4 is too small to go in the mail. So I'm just cutting this right on the score line. They are great cards to, if you give gift cards and you're just handing it out, or to use to attach to like a gift bag or a gift package. They're good for that. but you kind of need to send them in a larger envelope if you want to send them off. So I'm completely fine cutting up some of these 3x4 cards so that I can use them in different ways. And you will have some envelopes left over, but I'm going to show you what you can do with the envelopes. So I believe we are using all 5 card bases and all 5 in both sizes and all of the envelopes as well, if I remember correctly. Okay, so we're going to add that to that. And then this piece is going to go on to our card front. Just like that, so that we have a nice even border. And then this piece is going to go on. And that's going to cover over this image. You will see a little bit here, but that's okay. It's going to get covered over with something else that we add on here. Okay, I think that looks straight. Okay, and then I've cut 2 scrap pieces of cardstock. I've got a white piece here and I've got a black piece, and I'm just going to adhere them together. So I'm going to put a little bit of multi-purpose glue just on the bottom of the white strip and adhere that to the top of the black, leaving about 1/8 of an inch. Okay, and then I'm just going to trim this excess, this overhang off. And then this is going to go on using dimensionals. I'm going to add 3 dimensionals on this. Bring this back in, and this is going to go across. So this little bit that's sticking out will get covered over. So that's going to go on like that. Actually, we're going to move it up just a little bit higher than this. So you want about 3/4 of an inch of that blue florally pattern showing. Okay, and then we are going to take these 2 pieces. So these 2 cylindrical shaped pieces. And again, we're going to use some of the edges here. And I'm going to put a dimensional on the top and on the bottom. And then this is going to go over here. So the reason I put a dimensional on the top and the bottom is so that it's flat here, but it's even height. So that dimensional here matches up with the dimensional on this piece. And we'll do the same on this one. And that's going to go right next to it. Okay, and then we're going to bring in some of these Flirty Flamingo dots. And we're going to use lots of them. Some of this, we'll do one here. We're going to do 4 big ones and 2 little ones. Okay, and then there is this little blue circle here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim it in half. I'm going to grab half of it and pop it up here, and then tie a bow from my twine. And we'll add a little dot of multi-purpose glue right here. And pop that on there. And there is card number, are we on number 5? There's card number 5. And we'll grab our envelope that goes along with that. Okay, and then we're gonna do one where we're actually going to use our last 4x6 card. We're gonna use a 3x4 card as well. And then that other half of this card base, this is actually, you're going to take that and you're going to emboss that using an embossing folder. So I went ahead and I trimmed it down to, I believe it was 3 by 4, and I used the, what embossing folder is this? Vintage tile, distress tile embossing folder, which I can't remember if this one is retiring or not, but we're going to use 2 card bases for this card. So let me just go to my notes here because we're going to trim this down just a little bit. So I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer and I'm going to cut 1 inch off of one side. So our card front is going to be a little shorter than the back of our card. And I'm going to bring in this card base, or this 4 by 6 card, and we're going to cut this down to 3 by 6. So it's already 6 inches. So we're going to cut it at 3 inches. Okay. So now we'll fold our card. And then this piece is going to get adhered to this. And this piece is going to go here. Like that. So you want to have an 1/8 of an inch border at the top and the bottom and on the right hand side. Okay, so it's going to look like that. All right, now we're going to take this card base. I do find sometimes these kind of need a little bit of help to get them so that the ends are even. All right, and then this embossed piece is going to go on here. Like that. And then this piece is going to go onto a piece of Poppy Parade. This is one of the colors that's in here. So this Poppy Parade piece measures 3 3/8 by 4 3/8. So it's cut, so it's just a smidge bigger than our card base. So that's going to go on here so that we just have about a 1/16 of an inch of that red peeking out from behind this. Okay, and then this is going to get attached in here and it's going to open like this. All right, so I'm going to add adhesive to the back of this red bit. So when you adhere this piece, you want to make sure that you're it's opening backwards, so not like a regular book. I'll open my card and I'm just going to center this so that I've got an even space here and here, and then here and here. Okay, so then it'll open like that. Isn't that pretty? And it's such a simple way to do this. Okay, so now we're going to use this image for this card. And I'm going to use a little bit of just some seal adhesive. I'm going to put a little bit of seal adhesive on here like this. And the twine, bring back my twine. And we're going to do the little figure 8 thing that we did last time. So we're going to do that again. Okay, like that. And then we'll trim this. And then we're going to add some dimensionals to the back of this. And I'm going to be pretty generous with my dimensionals, just because I'm not using my embossing buddy and getting rid of that adhesive bit. Let's cut one of these here. I'll add this here. Okay. Then we'll adhere this. right on here like that. And then we're going to add a greeting. And I love the white on the black here. And I'm just going to flip that over and again, use just a little piece on here. And leave this flat because it's going to overlap this bit here. Okay, and then we'll finish it off with some of our dots for days. And there we go. There is card number 6. And we'll grab our envelope for that one. Oh, that's not an envelope. Here is the envelope. Okay, so there is our envelope, or there's card number 6. Okay, card number 7. Now we've got, okay, I misinformed you. Oh, hang on, that's good. Okay, so now we've got a few, I think we've got 2 of these card bases left. We're not actually going to use those, but we are going to use, you have 2 card bases, 3x4 card bases, and 4 envelopes left. We're going to use 2 envelopes, so you'll still have these supplies left. All right, and we are going to create a gift card holder. So what I'm going to do is I am going to, let me just have a look at this and make sure I'm doing it right. Okay, we're going to tuck, we have both flaps open, and we're going to tuck one flap into the other and push it down so it's right in there, and then fold this over. So it's going to open like a book, okay? We're going to add adhesive to this part. Just like that. That's going to be the back, and this is going to be the front. So I have a piece of black cardstock that measures, what does this measure? 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. And we're going to use this card base this time. So by simply adding in a little bit of coordinating cardstock, you can really step up these projects. Okay, so that's going to go there. This is going to go on the card front. Like that. And then we're going to take the twine that we have left. We'll tie a bow. We'll add a little dot of multi-purpose glue on here. Add our bow to that. And then we're going to take this happy birthday greeting and we'll add a couple dimensionals onto this. Let's do one there, and then we'll add a piece of one, a little bit smaller. And that's going to go on here like that. So that'll be the front. And then on the inside, I used this piece. So this is kind of, it matches the card on the outside. We'll add a couple dimensionals to the back of this. Actually, let's add 3 to this. That's going to go on there like that. And then there are these adorable little ladybugs. We're going to add a few of these flying ones, a couple of these flying ones on here like that. And then this card I'm going to tuck in here. So it's kind of like an inside greeting. You can tuck a gift card in there. And then this one pulls in the ladybugs. I'm going to tuck in this side, and that's so that you can write a message to the receiver. And there is a sweet little gift card holder. All right, so you still have all of these supplies where you can keep creating. And actually I did, let me see. I did create a few other cards, let me share, using some of these extra pieces. So I did this one here. So this uses another one of the 3x4 cards, some Flirty Flamingo cardstock, a die cut circle, and then one of the stickers. And then I added the leaf stickers, these ones here on the inside. And then here is another one. So 4x6 card and a 3x4 card. This is a sticker. This is a sticker. Actually, this whole thing is a sticker. This must just, oh, this is this strip here, and then a couple other stickers and some little twine on there. All right, and then this is what I had left from the package that I was playing with. I was going to try to come up with a scrapbook layout to use those for. So there is, let me pull them all back in so that you can see, there are 6 card ideas using, or sorry, 7 card ideas using the Mixed Media Florals, Memories and More cards, and the assorted package of cards and envelopes, Memories and More cards and envelopes. So quick and easy, very few supplies. You could whip up an assortment of all occasion cards, and wouldn't these be great to make as a gift for somebody? It would be perfect. All right, so I will have all the supplies linked in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure that you give me a thumbs up, and I will chat with you again soon. Take care.